Bushong, Executive Director of the Phoenix Public Library Foundation. Thank you for joining us for the first ever virtual Dinner in the Stacks. I wish we were all together here at Burton Bar Central Library, but thank you for joining us in this new format. We have a program that's inspiring, informative, and fun, and I'm excited to kick it off by introducing Bram Resnick, 12 News host of Sunday Square Up. Take it away, Bram.
Welcome to the 35th annual Dinner in the Stacks, an evening to support the tremendous work of the Phoenix Public Library. I'm Bram Resnick with 12 News, and obviously I'm not in the stacks. I'm at home in my living room. This has been my studio for the last 8 months, all by myself. Where are you guys? I know, we all miss being right here at Burton Bar for the silent auction, and then the dinner, the conversation. You guys are always so loud. And then afterwards, the crazy public auction and the desserts and the cigars. But let's face it, that was so 2019. So tonight, we're all zooming in the stacks. And thank you so much for joining us for that. In the next 20 minutes, you'll learn more about the tremendous impact of your Phoenix Public Libraries, especially during these trying times. It's been a hard year for all of us, and it's not over yet. But we also want to leave you with some inspiration. We want to encourage you, get some optimism going, and above all, some hope. Your Phoenix Public Libraries have been an enormous resource for many families, and tonight you'll hear how the library has been, now more than ever, a beacon of hope. And so let's get this evening started. We have some of our favorite supporters here to share their library stories with you. We'll lead it off with Akshay Patel, Phoenix Public Library Foundation board member. Shai, what's up?
Good evening and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for a special evening to celebrate and support the Phoenix Public Library. I'm Akshay J. Patel, father, proud Phoenician, and honored to be a board member of the Phoenix Public Library Foundation. At the Foundation, we ensure our libraries are well equipped to do what they do best, to be a source of whimsy for kids around Phoenix, to be a resource for families valley-wide, and to be a true force for good in this city's communities. At the end of the day, our libraries provide unlimited, unwavering support for any Phoenician who needs it. Today, that support is needed more than ever. Tonight, it's my distinct privilege to share my love and passion for our life-changing libraries, a place of personal connection for me as a kindergartner, as a teacher, and as a parent. Shout out to Juniper, Ocotillo, and South Mountain branches that have been my special places for decades. But before we get started, I want to call out that if you've been to this event before, you know we try to have a good time. And we're looking forward to when we can all saunter through the stacks of Burton Bar, cocktail in hand. And while we can't do that this evening, we still think that a cocktail is in order. As we enjoy the rest of our time together, the team at Conceptually Social have created a signature drink for tonight that many of you are sipping now, and we wanted to use this time to teach you all how to make the Hemingway-ish at home.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We're with the Phoenix Public Library, and you're with the Dinner in the Stacks event. Tonight I'm going to be showing you how to create one of the cocktails that you're hopefully enjoying with us, the Hemingway-ish. So for this, we're going to start with some Pernod Absinthe, Bacardi Ocho spiced rum, some grapefruit cordial, and some Charles Roux Prosecco. So 4 ingredients here, let's get into it. I've got my absinthe in a little dropper here. It's going to take just a quick dash, not too much, adds a little bit of complexity. I'm going to go in a quick ounce of grapefruit cordial, another ounce of Bacardi Ocho spiced rum, and finally 3 ounces of the Charles Roux Prosecco. Just to top it off. Don't need to give it a stir. Some ice to top. grapefruit peel, express. Right in the drink. That's the Hemingway-ish. Again, hopefully you guys are enjoying it with us tonight. If not, grab a glass of red or white wine. If you'd like to enjoy this cocktail with us in the future, find us at the Larry Kaizen, downtown Phoenix. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you so much.
Thank you to the team at Conceptually Social for creating and teaching us the Hemingway-ish. Oh, Arms, thought we already said farewell. Huh? This evening's virtual event would not be possible without the generous and ongoing support of our sponsors. In a world where budgets are tightening, these committed champions, this elite group of companies and individuals, have stepped up in a major way. On your screen, you'll see a list of the people who have made it known through their contributions that the library is a top priority. We appreciate your support so much. Creating the vision and steering the strategy, the leadership of the Phoenix Public Library Foundation is a deeply dedicated, passionate group I'm happy to serve. These individuals lend their time, their talent, their treasure to all the library branches. And with that, I'd like to take this time to thank and acknowledge our board of directors. Executing that vision is no easy task, so I would like to express gratitude for our staff, Executive Director Kelly Bouchon and Development Manager Melanie McGreevy. And of course, it takes a massive amount of people power to plan and execute such a production. Putting on an event of this caliber and scope isn't easy, but with a hardworking committee of volunteers, we have spectacular evenings like this. And finally, I want to take a moment to recognize and thank our truly phenomenal city librarian. Rita Hamilton devotes her life to this work, and this year has been undeniably challenging for everyone. Thanks to her, the library's impact extends far beyond arts and culture. It's truly the place where kids, students, families, really any Phoenician can find the trajectory-making support they need. To talk more about what's happened this year, I am thrilled to introduce our amazing leader, Rita Hamilton, City Librarian.
Thank you, Akshay, and thank you for spending your Saturday night supporting Phoenix Public Library. Whether we are in person or trying something new, Dinner in the Stacks is always one of my favorite nights of the year, because tonight I get to share my love for our library and all that Phoenix Public Library gives our communities and neighbors every day. This year has been a difficult year. Definitely not a year we would have anticipated. What really stands out for me is how proud I am that this library is always able to deliver critical services, especially when our communities need them the most. From day one of our pandemic response, even as we had to change how we help our customers, we continue to provide the bedtime stories that allow for comforting nightly routines, provide a break from screen time, but not a break from adventure for kids checking out a cherished book. We offer a sense of normalcy or a calm moment with a favorite download during a chaotic day. We make sure families have access to daily nutritious meals for their children and assure families they can still plan for their kids to go to college. We connect small business owners with grant and funding opportunities to address these new and challenging times. And our curbside service delivers hands-on fun with craft kits and learning for the whole family. These are just some of the things you can always rely on from your library. Thank you again for support of Phoenix Public Library through our great foundation. With your help, we will continue to be a valuable institution looked to with trust. And now, I am honored to introduce the library's biggest supporter, Mayor Kate Gallego.
Thank you, Rita. I'm thrilled to be with you here tonight to celebrate our Phoenix Public Libraries and the work that you do to support our libraries. Rita and her team have done amazing work during very difficult times, and the foundation is such a key partner in supporting our libraries. We want to make sure our community stays safe but still has access to the key services that our libraries provide, as well as some new ones. This year, our librarians have produced thousands of masks and more than 4,000 comfort clips, which help take those masks and lift them off your ears. We've delivered to Honor Health and other key essential workers during COVID-19. Just another example of how our libraries and librarians have stepped up to support our community. They've done a great job with curbside service. My son and I are big fans. He's had a bunch of evolving interests during COVID-19, and thanks to our libraries, I've been able to provide him with great educational material. Sometimes he's challenged me. He wanted a book on pterosaurs, and I thought there was no way that we would have a book just on pterosaurs for my little guy and his love of dinosaurs. But the Phoenix Public Libraries came through. It's continued as he's developed all sorts of new interests. Right now we're into marine life, cephalopods, and I know more about octopi than I ever thought would be possible. So thank you to the libraries for expanding my young guy's imagination and his knowledge, as well as those of so many people in our city. The libraries have shared essential information, including helping us get an accurate census, as well as providing content for parents during this difficult time. This wasn't the year we expected, but we're so glad to have the Phoenix Library and the support you provide to help us meet community challenges. Thank you for supporting our libraries and this year's Dinner in the Stacks event. We look forward to celebrating with you in person in the future.
Thank you, Mayor Gallego. My name is Dave Howell, and I have the honor of serving as the board chair for the Phoenix Public Library Foundation. I've had the great privilege over the years living in Phoenix, working for some great institutions, from Channel 10 to Bank of America to Thunderbird, the Graduate School, and now Wells Fargo. And along the way, I've also had the opportunity to work with some of the best nonprofit organizations in our community. But when I think about which ones have had the most impact, where we've made the most difference, I put the work of the Phoenix Public Library system and the foundation's support of that system at the top of the list. When it was announced that the library system would not be allowing in-person services during the COVID pandemic, the library staff had to double down and really think about how they could recreate what they do and how they could continue to serve the community. And serve the community they have. With the services expanded, the demand for them expanded because of the pandemic, they had to recreate the ways they deliver some of the critical services the community so desperately needs. And we wanted to share with you firsthand what some of that impact looks like. If you're a college-bound senior in high school, getting the support you need to find your way through the college application and the student financial aid system takes some work and it takes some help. And that's what College Depot does. College Depot converted almost instantly to continuing their one-on-one services virtually with regular appointments with the students they were serving. We'd like you to hear from one of those students, Bianca.
I'm so grateful for College Depot's unconditional support through probably one of my hardest semesters in school yet. It had been 2 months since I returned from my study abroad experience in Chile, and I was struggling. I was struggling to adapt and to figure out who I was back home. And even through that, they were able to connect me to grant opportunities to help alleviate my stress and focus on my classes, which was actually really needed at the time. So now knowing how much the Libraries Foundation has dedicated to me, I am dedicated to paying it forward and helping students in the future. So happy 25th birthday to the Burton Barr Central Library.
Thanks, Bianca. With the COVID pandemic making everything virtual these days, the library has also had to reimagine how they approach their early literacy programming. They've reinvented kindergarten camp and story time. And we do know, with the schools closed in so many places, or at least limited, it's been a real challenge for families to find appropriate and available content and activities for their young children. Here's Vicki to tell us more about that.
Thousands of Phoenix children are still starting kindergarten, even if it looks a little different now than it used to. We know families still need our help to get their kids ready for school, probably now more than ever. So we transitioned Kindergarten Boot Camp into a live, very interactive online program, and we provided families with all the supplies they would need to do the program at home. We're still doing everything that we can to make sure our kids have the best start possible.
Thank you, Vicki. Now, at Dinner in the Stacks, we always honor someone who has been instrumental in creating the environment, building the health, and the growth of the Phoenix Public Library system. And since this year is the 25th anniversary of the Burton Barr Library's grand opening, we thought it would be appropriate this year to honor the visionary who is behind the creation of this amazing space that we all love. So this year, the design architect of Burton Barr Library, Will Bruder, is our honoree. Burton Barr Public Library has become a staple of the Phoenix skyline, an icon to the 20th century modern architectural movement. With its landmark status and its point of community pride recognition, it also serves as the nexus for the Phoenix library system and meeting the community's library and information needs. As the anchor of the Phoenix Public Library system, Burton Barr houses more than 1 million books, tapes, videos, and other information sources. It's a mesmerizing and magical place, and it was Will's grand vision that has made it all possible. Here's Will to share a little bit more about how that vision came to be.
You know, a library is one of the best building types I can think as an architect to get to do. I've had the good fortune of doing a lot of libraries, a number of libraries, as well as some art museums, and my cultural buildings are my joy. Houses are wonderful. The city fabric is important. Every building in the city is important, and I really value that. But I've had the privilege of working on libraries, and this, of course, is I was a young man in my 40s when this was being conceived and built. And to be here at this point and see how it's worked and continues to work, how it's been adopted and loved and cared for and used, and kept pace with the times. Because when we started this, as I was saying, the computer was a new invention to the information highway that the library would contain and become. And, you know, we designed this building to be flexible, to be able to shift and move with things we didn't even know would exist. We think it's done a pretty good job. We really appreciate how our community is taking care of it and loves it. And that's the most that an architect can ask for in his life, is to have created places of memory that are embraced by the communities they were designed for. So that's what a library is all about. It gives you the best of all worlds. We have the greatest windows to the very best technology. We have all of the sort of sharing and collaboration spaces, but we also have the ability to have this engagement with a discovery that you weren't even thinking about when you walk through the door. It just comes upon you. It's about life. It's about living in a city. It's about living in nature. A library is about all those things rolled into one.
Thank you, Will. We can't tell you enough how much we appreciate everything you've done for Phoenix Public Library. Your admiration for our city is on display every day at Burton Barr Central Library, and I hope you know how grateful we are. And now I'm happy to introduce Ed Zucker, City Manager.
Good evening and welcome to Dinner in the Stacks. This is one of my favorite events because it supports an institution I am highly passionate about, our Phoenix Public Library. As a former English teacher, I have a deep and abiding respect for the power of words, stories, and books. I grew up in an isolated small town in eastern Kentucky, where the old Carnegie Library was the only place to find stories that could take us into more interesting worlds. But today's public library system is so much more than just books. It's evolved over the years into a world that offers digital entertainment, learning, and community support. And our librarians are more than masters of new decimals. They're technicians and wizards of digital learning. With the COVID pandemic, we've profoundly felt the absence of our in-person library services and profoundly felt the importance of the digital services. As city manager, I'm also aware that even in a digital, virtual world, our Phoenix Public Library still depends on people, great employees, and great supporters like the Phoenix Library Foundation. Much of the reason these programs exist is directly attributable to the passionate dedication of individuals such as yourselves who augment library funding. Your support of the Phoenix Public Library Foundation allows city staff to be more productive and accessible to our community, especially in these difficult times, and will for years to come. On behalf of the 400 library employees, and in fact all 15,000 city employees, I extend my deepest thanks to all of you for supporting tonight's Dinner in the Stacks event, our great library employees, and the Phoenix Public Library Foundation.
And now you can show your love for the library. We have our popular silent auction available online, as well as raffles starting at $5 a ticket. If you signed up for text messaging, soon you'll receive a message and you can click on that to make a donation. If not, simply text STACKS to 41444. If you have any questions, just contact us at the email or phone number on the screen. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope you're leaving here feeling a little more knowledgeable about what Phoenix Public Library is doing to help our community. And one more thing, if you don't have your library card, simply visit phoenixpubliclibrary.org and sign up today. Thank you. Have a great night.